Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Manoj Singh Rana with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Sardar Patel Zoological Park and Arogyavan in Gujarat, lays foundation stone for various projects at Kevadia in Narmada district. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 91.15%. In Bihar, campaigning intensifies for second phase of assembly elections, polling for 94 seats on 3rd November. Eid-e-Miladun-Nabi being celebrated with religious fervour across the country. And in IPL cricket, Kings 11 Punjab take on Rajasthan Royals in Abu Dhabi. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Sardar Patel Zoological Park and Geodesic Aviary Dome in the Statue of Unity complex near Kevadia in Narmada district of Gujarat today. He dedicated to the nation 17 projects under integrated development of Kevadia and laid the foundation stone for 4 new projects. The projects include Navigation Channel, New Gora Bridge, Garudeshwar Weir, Government Quarters, Bus Bay Terminus, Ekta Nursery, Khalwani Ecotourism, Tribal Homestay. He also flagged off the Ekta Cruise service to the Statue of Unity. The Sardar Patel Zoological Park has been completed in record time. This state-of-the-art zoological park is spread over 375 acres of land and built at 7 different levels. AIR correspondent reports that there are many attractions for children in this jungle safari park, including petting zone that houses macaws, cockatoos, Persian cats, rabbits, guinea pigs, young horses, small sheep and goats, turkeys and geese. Earlier, Mr. Modi dedicated Arogyavan and Arogya Kutir to the nation. Arogyavan is set up on 17 acres of land in Kevadia for yoga, Ayurveda and meditation. Arogyavan has 380 species of plants and trees with rich medicinal values. Apart from the natural therapy of Kerala, souvenir shops and cafeterias are also part of this Arogyavan project. The Prime Minister expressed his happiness over the emergence of Kevadia as a vibrant place of tourism. After inaugurating a series of projects, Mr. Modi said Arogyavan contains exhibits relating to nature and also showcases traditional forms of healing, including yoga and Ayurveda. After inaugurating the Ekta Mall, he said it is a fitting tribute to Sardar Patel that Kevadia, which houses the Statue of Unity, also has a centre that will further the spirit of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat. Sharing some glimpses from the Children Nutrition Park in Kevadia, Mr. Modi said the park seeks to harness technology in order to spread awareness on nutrition and healthcare. More from our correspondent.
Now the Kevadia is shining with 1 billion LED lights which spread over a 25 square kilometer area around the Statue of Unity. Prime Minister has inaugurated a series of projects on the first day of his 2-day visit. These include Arogyavan, Arogya Kutir, world's first technology-based children's nutrition park, Jungle Safari, Ekta Nursery and Ekta Cruise. Ekta Cruise, with a capacity of 200 tourists, will connect Statue of Unity and Shresth Bharat Bhavan through Narmada River. Prime Minister Modi also enjoyed a 6-kilometer long ferry service ride. Jungle Safari is spread over 375 acres of land and built at 7 different levels. It has 1100 different species of birds and 100 species of animals. All these projects are built in the surroundings of the Statue of Unity, which will create employment opportunities for more than 3,000 tribal families. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Prime Minister Modi reached Ahmedabad this morning on a 2-day visit to Gujarat. He will pay tribute to the Iron Man of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, on his 145th birth anniversary tomorrow. The Prime Minister will also participate in the Ekta Parade to be held at the Statue of Unity on the occasion of Rashtriya Ekta Divas.
The nation celebrates the 145th birth anniversary of India's Iron Man, Sardar Patel, tomorrow. The day is also marked as Rashtriya Ekta Divas across the country. In the run-up to the event, All India Radio News brings to you select excerpts from the speeches of the Iron Man of India from its archives.
हमारा एक कर्तव्य है कि जिस मोहल्ले में हम रहते हैं, जिस शहर में हम रहते हैं, जिस नगर में हम रहते हैं, हम एक खुदा की औलाद है, एक ईश्वर की प्रजा है। हम सब एक माँ बाप के फर्जंद है, इस प्रकार हमें रहना चाहिए।
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will deliver this year's Sardar Patel Memorial Lecture at 9:30 p.m. tomorrow. It will be broadcast on the entire network of All India Radio. Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi will preside over this year's oration. Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan will also be present. As a mark of respect to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who was India's first Information Broadcasting Minister, All India Radio hosts the annual Sardar Patel Memorial Lecture. A galaxy of eminent leaders, scientists and historians have adorned the podium in the past to deliver the lecture. The lecture series started in 1955 and the first lecture was delivered by C. Rajgopalachari. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Morarji Desai, Dr. Zakir Hussain, Dr. Karan Singh, Vasant Sathe, Dr. K. Kasturi Rangan, Professor M.G.K. Menon, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, Justice Leela Seth, J.N. Dikshit, Arun Jaitley, Ajit Dobhal have delivered the lecture in the past. As a tribute to Sardar Vallabhbhai Jhaverbhai Patel, a biographical documentary, Iron Man Sardar Patel, will be screened on the Films Division website and YouTube channel on his birth anniversary tomorrow. The 20-minute film will be streamed on filmsdivision.org, Documentary of the Week, and youtube.com/user/filmsdivision. The documentary takes the viewers on a brief journey into the life and works of Sardar Patel, the pivotal role he played in the freedom movement, his great commitment to national integration, his simplicity and strong sense of nationalism. The free streaming will be available for 24 hours tomorrow.
India's active COVID-19 cases have dropped below 6 lakh today. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is 5,94,000. The Health Ministry said the constantly increasing recoveries have ensured that the actual caseload of the country is reduced and currently comprises only 7.35% of the total positive cases. The country's recovery rate amongst the COVID-19 patients has improved to 91.15%. Here is a desk report.
More than 57,000 COVID patients recovered during the last 24 hours. The total number of recoveries has reached over 73,73,000. In the last 24 hours, 48,648 new cases were reported, taking the total number of positive cases in the country so far to over 80,88,000. The Health Ministry said effective implementation of Centre's strategic and graded test, track and treat approach has led to higher recoveries and lower fatality. Currently, India's case fatality rate is at 1.50%, which is one of the lowest globally. In the last 24 hours, 563 deaths have been reported, taking the toll to 1,21,090. According to Indian Council of Medical Research, more than 11,64,000 tests were conducted during the last 24 hours. The total number of samples tested so far has reached to over 10 crore 77 lakh. Vasundhara News Desk.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has emphasized the need to pay more attention to group testing for COVID-19 in view of the upcoming festive season. Asking officials to launch a special awareness drive, the Chief Minister said today that more and more focused testing should be conducted in the state. He also asked people to remain vigilant with the onset of the winter season. More from our correspondent.
Today, group tests of people working at beauty parlors and mehndi shops were conducted in state. These focus tests are being conducted on those persons who will come in contact with general public during upcoming festivals like Karwa Chauth and Diwali. Meanwhile, the recovery rate from coronavirus infection in state has further increased to 93.45%, which is higher than the national average. 2,237 new active cases has been found in state in last 24 hours, while 2,590 patients were discharged after full recovery. The state currently has 24,431 COVID patients. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Kerala reported more recoveries than positive cases today as 6,638 new cases of COVID were confirmed and 7,828 people recovered from the infection in the state. The total active COVID cases in the state is 90,565. Meanwhile, 28 recent deaths were also confirmed due to COVID today, taking the death toll in the state to 1,457. Over 53,000 samples were tested in the last 24 hours.
Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh has said 2,89,247 cases for violation of COVID-19 norms were registered under Section 188 till October the 28th since the beginning of lockdown in Maharashtra. He said fine of 35 crore 18 lakh rupees was collected and more than 42,000 persons were arrested for the violation of the section. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
Declining trend can be seen in COVID-19 cases in Maharashtra, and it is the result of the relentless work done by corona warriors like doctors, nurses, health department and police force of the state. But there are some elements who either do not understand the importance of their work or have careless attitude. The police force of Maharashtra has done a commendable job to keep a check on these elements. Police have arrested more than 42,000 persons and also seized 96,000 vehicles in their drive to contain the pandemic. In their efforts to save the people from getting infected from COVID-19, more than 26,000 personnel of Maharashtra Police became COVID positive and the police force lost 283 personnel including 28 officers in this drive. Home Minister Anil Deshmukh has appealed to the citizens of Maharashtra to participate in this fight against the global pandemic by following the COVID-19 preventive measures and cooperate the administration. Shailesh Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
Nagaland's COVID-19 tally has reached close to 9,000 mark as 51 fresh positive cases were detected today. Health and Family Welfare Minister S. Pangyu Phom in a tweet said that 32 cases were reported from Dimapur, 16 in Kohima, 2 in Mokokchung and 1 from Tuensang. Besides, 210 patients recovered today. The state has now a total of 8,945 positive cases, out of which 1,596 are active, while 7,229 have recovered. So far, out of total 41 deaths in the state, 33 persons have died due to COVID-19, 6 deaths are not COVID-related and 2 deaths under investigation, while 79 cases have migrated. The News Services Division of All India Radio and its bilingual live phone-in program tonight will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. Naresh Gupta, medical consultant, Maulana Azad Medical College, will participate in the discussion. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on toll-free telephone number 1800-115767. One can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News. Alerts by using hashtag AskAIR. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates. Veteran film director Imtiaz Ali says this is the time to move ahead in life while safeguarding oneself from coronavirus. Talking to AIR News, he said one has to follow COVID-appropriate behavior in order to keep everybody safe.
अब समय है इस कोरोना के इन्फेक्शन से बचते हुए अपनी जिंदगी को आगे बढ़ाने। आपको हाथ धोना है, आपको 2 गज की दूरी रखनी है, सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग करनी है, ये सारी बातें आपको पता है। मेरी इल्तिजा आपसे सिर्फ ये है कि अपना ख्याल रखिए, क्योंकि अपना ख्याल रखेंगे तो अपने घर वालों को भी आप इस इन्फेक्शन से बचाएंगे और आपका भी काम चलेगा और देश भी आगे बढ़ेगा।
Keeping in view the Diwali festival, the Khadi and Village Industries Commission, or KVIC, has launched a limited edition of 2-layered Happy Diwali printed face masks made of pure muslin fabric. It is a high quality and ultra fine cotton fabric handmade by traditional Khadi artisans of West Bengal. More from our correspondent.
The Diwali muslin face masks are priced nominally at 75 rupees a piece and are available for sale through the Khadi outlets in Delhi and online through KVIC's e-portal www.khadiindia.gov.in. Like the other variants of Khadi face masks, the muslin face masks too are skin-friendly, washable, reusable and biodegradable and economical that suits all pockets. The muslin face masks have been developed following the overwhelming public response to 2 layers Khadi cotton and 3 layers silk masks. Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises MSME in a statement said that so far KVIC has sold over 18 lakh such face masks across the country in less than 6 months' time. The ministry said KVIC will also launch Christmas and New Year special masks in the coming days. With Anand Kumar, Anupam Mish, AI News, Delhi.
You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Sardar Patel Zoological Park and Arogya Van in Gujarat, lays foundation stone for various projects at Kevadia in Narmada district. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 91.15%. In Bihar, campaigning intensifies for second phase of assembly elections, polling for 94 seats on 3rd of November. Eid-e-Milad-un-Nabi being celebrated with religious fervour across the country. And in IPL cricket, Kings 11 Punjab take on Rajasthan Royals in Abu Dhabi. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
In Bihar, campaigning for the second and third phase of assembly elections is in full swing. In the second phase, 94 assembly segments spread over 17 districts will go to polls on the 3rd of November. In the third and final phase, polling will be held on the 7th of November in 78 assembly constituencies. Star campaigners of several parties are on whirlwind tours to woo the voters in support of their party candidates. Leaders of both the NDA and Grand Alliance are holding road shows, public meetings and election rallies. Leaders of other alliances like Grand Democratic Secular Front GDSF and Progressive Democratic Alliance PDA are also holding rallies in support of their candidates. Addressing election rallies in Begusarai and Siwan, BJP President JP Nadda appeals to people to vote for the NDA on the basis of its past track record. Taking a swipe at Rashtriya Janata Dal RJD, Mr. Nadda said their leader Tejasvi Prasad Yadav is talking about development and making promises, but who will believe him? Mr. Nadda said RJD believes in muscle power, and it is evident from their past rallies like Tel Pilawan rally where the purpose was to intimidate. The BJP president said NDA believes in development, so it brought the Prime Minister's package of 1.25 lakh crore rupees for Bihar. Senior party leader and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh also addressed election rallies in Pirpanti, Kesaria, Raghopur and Begusarai. More from our correspondent.
Senior BJP leader and Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said in Patna that the state needs only strong leadership to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic. He said the centre and Bihar government worked its best to mitigate the impact of corona. JDU President and Chief Minister Nitish Kumar addressed a rally in Belson in Sitamarhi. Mr. Kumar said people of the state will not allow the reign of the state to slip to those hands who misruled the province. The Grand Alliance Chief Ministerial candidate Tejasvi Prasad Prasad Yadav said in Hasanpur that the swelling crowd in his rallies reflects that change is inevitable this time. The Congress General Secretary Randeep Singh Surjewala said in Patna that people will teach elation to Chief Minister Nitish Kumar in these elections. LJP Chief Chirag Paswan, RLSP President Upendra Kushwaha and several leaders of CPI-ML, CPI and CPM addressed rally in support of their party candidates. Dharmendra Kumar Rai, AIR News, Patna.
The Election Commission today revoked the star campaigner status of Congress leader and former Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh Kamal Nath, citing repeated violation of the Model Code of Conduct. In an order, the Commission said it has observed that Mr. Nath, despite being a leader of a political party, is breaching ethical and dignified behavior. It said no permission will be granted by the District Election Officer of Returning Officer to Mr. Nath as a star campaigner for the current by-elections of Legislative Assembly of Madhya Pradesh. The Commission said if any campaign is done by Mr. Kamal Nath from now onwards, the entire expenditure will be borne by the candidate in whose constituency the campaign is being done. Campaigning for the by-election to the State Assembly is underway in Madhya Pradesh. During campaigning, Mr. Nath had used derogatory remarks against a woman candidate of the BJP and Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan.
The Union government today rejected a media report which claims that some large public sector banks have decided to increase the charges for cash deposit and withdrawal from saving accounts. The Press Information Bureau, or PIB, has described the claim as false. It clarified that banks have not taken such decision. The PIB also dismissed a report in which it was claimed that 100 rupees will be charged for every cash withdrawal from Jan Dhan accounts. It said that there is no charge for free banking service on Jan Dhan accounts, and the claim is false. The Union government today termed as fake a report published by an English daily that Chinese troops have further transgressed into the Indian territory and occupied positions in Finger 2 and 3 of the North Bank on Pangong Tso Lake. In a tweet, the Press Information Bureau clarified that Additional Director General of Public Information of the Indian Army has refuted this statement. Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal says that due to the sealing of the Indo-Bangladesh border, the number of cases of infiltration have reduced considerably in the state. Mr. Sonowal said that the Congress party did not take any step to fulfill the 6th clause of the Assam Accord to safeguard the interest of the indigenous people. Addressing a party meeting at Dhimaji today, Mr. Sonowal said Prime Minister Narendra Modi took slew of measures for the improvement of road network in North Assam. Mr. Sonowal said that only the BJP-led government is working for the rights of the indigenous people in Assam. He said that the Assam government will start construction work of 120 schools at tea garden areas on the 1st of November.
Food Minister Piyush Goyal has said Food Corporation of India and state agencies are all set to procure a record quantity of 742 lakh metric tons of paddy during the ongoing Kharif crop season, as against 627 lakh metric tons paddy last year. Virtually briefing media in New Delhi today, Mr. Goyal said the number of purchase centres for Kharif 2020-21 have also been increased from 30,709 to 39,122. Mr. Goyal said production of pulses has gone up in the last 5 years due to the relentless efforts of the Narendra Modi government and introduction of support prices. He said there is no shortage of food grains throughout the country despite the lockdown. The minister said the government has expanded procurement in the last 5 years. Procurement has been doubled as compared to the situation prevailing 6 years ago. He said the government cancelled over 4 crore bogus ration cards and ensured that the right beneficiary gets food grains, saving thousands of crore rupees. Speaking on onion, Mr. Goyal said on the 14th of September the government had banned the export of onions. The minister said onion seed export was banned so that there is no shortage.
तो प्याज के दाम गत हफ्ते भर से लगभग नियंत्रण में है। पिछले 3 दिन के एवरेज ऑल इंडिया रिटेल प्राइस लगभग 65 रुपए के आसपास है और ये 4-5-6 दिनों से लगभग 65 रुपए पे स्टेबलाइज हो गई है। केंद्र सरकार ने इस बार 14 सितंबर को समय देखते हुए के कीमतें बढ़ने का अनुमान है, समय पे अनियन के प्याज के निर्यात को रोक लगा दी।
Mr. Goyal also said steps are being taken to moderate potato prices. Earlier import duty on potato was 30%, now quota of 10 lakh metric tons at 10% duty for import of potato till the 31st of January 2021 has been notified. Mr. Goyal, who is also the Minister for Railways, said Railways is going to provide Kisan Rail for transportation of apples from Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh throughout the country. He said farmers of the country trust Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his government and are happy with the recently enacted farm laws. The 15th Finance Commission headed by N.K. Singh will submit its report to President Ramnath Kovind on the 9th of next month. The Commission concluded their deliberations today on the report for the next 5 financial years, starting from 2021-22 to 2025-26. The report has been finalized after wide-ranging consultations with the union and state governments, local governments, chairmen and members of previous finance commissions, advisory council to the commission and other domain experts, academic institutions of eminence and multilateral institutions.
Eid-e-Milad-un-Nabi, the birth anniversary of Prophet Muhammad, is being celebrated with religious fervour and due reverence in different parts of the country today. Milad Mehfils and online Seerat conferences were held amidst COVID-19 pandemic, where ulemas or religious scholars highlighted the life and teachings of Hazrat Muhammad. Various organizing committees had decided not to take out Milad processions in view of COVID-19 pandemic. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have greeted people on the occasion. In a message, Mr. Kovind said, Prophet Muhammad gave the message of love and brotherhood and led the world to the path of humanity. He said Prophet Muhammad wanted to build a society based on equality and harmony. The President asked everyone to work for the well-being of society and peace and harmony in the country according to the teachings of Prophet Muhammad compiled in the Holy Quran. In his message, Vice President said the Holy Prophet showed humanity with righteous path of compassion and universal brotherhood. Mr. Naidu also urged people to celebrate Milad-un-Nabi in a modest way due to the pandemic by adhering to COVID-19 health and hygiene protocols. Greeting the people on Milad-un-Nabi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed hope that this day will further compassion and brotherhood all across. In IPL cricket at Abu Dhabi, Kings 11 Punjab were 137 for 2 in 16 overs against Rajasthan Royals when reports last came in. Earlier, Rajasthan Royals won the toss and decided to field. Last night, Chennai Super Kings had won by 6 wickets against Kolkata Knight Riders in Dubai.
At the stock markets, after opening higher, the Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange lost 136 points or 0.3% to close at 39,614 today. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange fell 28 points or 0.2% to 11,642. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will experience mist. Temperature will hover between 14 and 30 degrees Celsius. In Mumbai, sky will be mainly clear. Minimum temperature in the metropolis will be 24 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be 33 degrees. Chennai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperature will range between 24 and 33 degrees Celsius. Kolkata is expected to have a partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature in the metropolis will be 24 degrees. Maximum will be 33. Jammu and Srinagar cities will have a mainly clear sky. In Jammu, the minimum temperature will be 13 degrees, maximum 30. In Srinagar, minimum temperature will be 2 degrees and maximum will be 20 degrees Celsius. They will have a partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. Minimum temperature will be 2 degrees Celsius while maximum will be nearly 21 degrees. Gilgit will witness a mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening with temperature moving from 2 to 21 degrees Celsius. In Muzaffarabad, minimum temperature will be 7 degrees while maximum will be around 27. The sky will be mainly clear. In Dehradun, the temperature will hover between 13 and 30 degrees. Mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Chandigarh will witness a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature will be 14, maximum 31. In Hyderabad, minimum will be 20 degrees, maximum around 32. The city will have a partly cloudy sky with haze. Ahmedabad is expected to have a clear sky. Patna may see a mainly clear sky. In Guwahati, fog or mist would occur in early morning. Temperature likely to vary between 23 and 33 degrees Celsius. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Sardar Patel Zoological Park and Arogyavan in Gujarat, lays foundation stone for various projects at Kevadia in Narmada district. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 91.15%. In Bihar, campaigning intensifies for second phase of assembly elections, polling for 94 seats on 3rd November. Eid-e-Milad-un-Nabi being celebrated with religious fervour across the country. And in IPL cricket, Kings 11 Punjab take on Rajasthan Royals in Abu Dhabi. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on the IR app. With that, we end the evening news. Good night.